recapping your first preseason game for your 2022 Minnesota Vikings, in which case the Vikings fall to the Las Vegas Raiders. Final score 26-20. I want to start with the quarterbacks first. Kellen Mond, not too shabby, threw for 2 touchdown passes, both to Albert Wilson. Mond and Wilson were responsible for the only touchdown scored today by the Vikings. Mond had some good moments. With that said, I still don't trust him against a first-team defense if need be. Midway through the fourth quarter, the Vikings were 0 for 6 on third down conversions. That includes Mond at quarterback. But if you want to keep it in-house, this is all you've got. Mond should be the QB2 by default. Not great, because the alternative is Sean Mannion. We know who he is. What we saw today is who he has always been. I just think it's hilarious that he's had ironclad job security for the last 3 years. It's funny because Mannion started the game, then Mond came in, and then after Mond threw that first touchdown pass to Albert Wilson, they brought Mannion back in the game in the fourth quarter. Overthrows a screen pass, ends the drive on a sack. Next drive, all right, let's bring Kellen Mond back. Enough with this co-backup quarterback bullshit. Kellen Mond should be the QB2. Let's talk about running backs now. Kene Nwangu, 6 yards per carry. Ty Chandler, 10 yards a carry. Alexander Madison, under 3 yards per carry. For what it's worth, I don't believe what we saw today from Madison is indicative of who he is as a player. He's certainly better than that, but I feel like he's more of an old school running back. Madison is, where, okay, Hutt gets the handoff, puts his head down, and just burrows his way through, whereas Kene Nwangu and Ty Chandler, they're more explosive. I feel like they have more vision. They can see the plays developing to make their cuts a lot better than Madison does. And the reason why a couple of days ago I brought up the topic, I made the video, should the Vikings trade Madison? He is in a contract year, likely gone after next season. I didn't bring it up in that video, but one of the reasons that I forgot to mention is we have Kene Nwangu. I would be just fine with him as the RB2. Maybe it's a hot take. I don't give a damn. I think he's a better player than Alexander Madison, but that's just me. Greg Joseph, the kicking game, still elite with a perfect kicking performance. And before I get to my final takeaway, I want to switch to the defense. So Brian Asamoah, love what I'm seeing from him so far. He's quick, he's fast, he's very good as far as closing in on the football. Behind him, the depth on this defense really needs some work. As far as collective defense, if there is something we want to say, hey, that's a good job, is the 2-minute defense to end the first half. They got to stop. No points allowed. T.Y. McGill had a big sack on third down, forced the punt. Good stuff there. After that, it went all downhill. The first possession for the defense to start the second half, they forced the punt, but then had an illegal substitution. Are you kidding me? With a touchdown to follow. Discipline was the downfall for the Vikings defense right there. Then later on in the second half, 3rd and 24, the defense gives up a 23-yard play to Demarcus Robinson on third down, and then the Raiders convert a first down on 4th and short. So Ed Donatel, he's got his work cut out for him. I have no worries about the first team defense. After that, that's where it gets a little bit dicey. And my final takeaway, Ed Ingram is all man. In run blocking, in pass protection, didn't matter. This dude went off today. There was a play where Tristan Jackson had a 17-yard play for a first down, and I think Kellen Mond was the quarterback. I can't remember, but either way, snap of the ball, Ed Ingram did a chip block to the left. There was no one else in his zone, so he decided to help block elsewhere. The edge rusher did a spin move to get back inside to make a play on the quarterback, and Ed Ingram came out of nowhere and just blew his shit up for a pancake block. This dude was a beast today. By the way, Jesse Davis, he gave up a pressure that led to the sack on Sean Mannion earlier in that game. Ed Ingram, he's got to be your first team right guard, no questions asked. So the way that this offensive line is shaken up, you know, your bookends, they're solid, they're elite. Your guards, Ezra Cleveland, I'm going to leave him alone. But if Ed Ingram is your starting right guard, the only question mark there is center. That's a whole different topic for a different day.